Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris in our Roma Galactica series. This is Ubskyke Ignis, our brand new desert core world that we're going to need to build up. You know, when I sat down to start recording this episode, this is my first time recording in a couple of days. I recorded the last 3 or 4-ish in one sitting, and we got that war taken care of. And now I'm sitting down like, holy crap, I've got so much to do, because we have finally conquered, you know, the Gurite Holy League, and the Gurite race is now under our control. But we have new worlds we can colonize now because we have access to arid worlds at long last as humans. We have access to savanna worlds as humans. There's an ocean world in Lemsa that we need to colonize. We need to make sure the unrest problem, this is our foremost issue, we need to make sure the unrest problem is dealt with in this sector so that there are not any further issues. And by the way, I just want to show you really quickly, I did some renaming of these worlds before I started recording, just because I didn't want to spend the first few minutes typing. But I've preserved the part of the planet name, the second part of their planet names. This was Jurg Onderine, but I took care of all the Jurg and the hyphen stuff. That all got taken out. So Onderine Ignis is now the name of that world. There's actually a couple of Onderine worlds. The other one is in this system, right next to the capital. And the capital happens to also be where the worst unrest is. Suhud Urba has... No. Yeah, there we go. There's some unrest. So we're going to have to use, for now... We can eventually have human pops on these worlds, and actually we can do it right now. We can start moving them, but there's no room on these worlds at the moment, so we're going to have to forcibly move pops around if we're going to make room for human populations on these planets. So we're going to have to do a little bit of micro in this episode with a lot of things, but let's land these armies there, and just to quell that immediate problem, but I also want to take a look at the unrest situation on other planets. For instance, Onderine Ignis, they've got a good number of troops. If I embark all, how is your situation after that? You immediately have problems. So let's go ahead and split you. And I want to have... Yep, you are going to re-land. We're going to do this one planet at a time for a bit. Oh, hello. So they just split up. And then this fleet... Also, have I renamed everything? Now I'm doubting myself. Let's take a look through the sector really quickly. Aha! Let's just name this Upad. And this is what type of planet? Upad. No semicolons. Eridus. Good. And then how's the unrest there? The unrest there is also kind of crap. So let's actually, tell you what, let's send the other transport fleet that I just broke apart there. And after a few turns, we're going to cycle back through and see how things look. On the shoulders of giants, it appears that the asteroid TE909L and the surrounding debris originates from a former planet. Deep within the center of the asteroid, we can find traces of extremely valuable minerals. There are also hints of bacterial life that have now died in the vacuum of space. This shows us that the celestial body once bore the promise of life. So this was an ex-planet. Interesting. It's a ring now, but it was a planet. It's in the Beskal system. We just have so much to do. There's colonizable worlds everywhere. There's a Savannah world there. And again, those are accessible to us now. So we can do things. So this transport fleet is on its way. It's about to jump. Let's take a look at the other worlds. We need to make sure unrest is completely taken care of. What was previously thought to be assorted mountains in the southern hemisphere of Menkar 4 have been identified as the massive skeletal remains of a single colossal alien life form. So this is the giant skeleton quest. Let's just have that scientist that just found it look at it real quick. First thing in their queue. Very good. Papdun Eridus, you've got a lot of armies on you. Let's embark yours and see how you look. Ah, actually, you don't look bad at all. Got 1 unrest, but that's not that bad. Actually, you know what? Speaking of which, we have this new sector. If we assigned a governor that might be able to reduce unrest. Ooh, check this out. We could assign an intellectual governor, which would increase the output of a sector that already has increased output because these guys are intellectuals. Our new subservient race, the Gurite, first conquered race of the Roman Star Empire, are intellectuals. So this would further augment their bonuses. So let's go ahead and have him. Kyang Lin. You don't look like a Kyang, just saying. You really don't. But let's have him be the governor. And that might actually help with unrest a little bit. Let's have a look. Yeah, no more on Ignis, but maybe there wasn't any to begin with. And there's still some on Huquel Urba. And after landing, it's a little better, but it's still not great. So where are you going? Oh, you're going nowhere apparently. So things are apparently okay here. Tell you what, let's do it this way. Let's create a new fleet. And we're going to have that one ship. We're just going to have you. No, I don't want to rename you. I want to select you. Listen. Thank you. I want to land you, and that should do away with the unrest, and then we'll have all these other ships to send around to other planets that need it. Let's see how unrest looks here. We're going to do this, again, one planet at a time. All right, unrest is gone. All right, actually, I think it was gone before we even did that, so it must have gone away on its own, but we'll still leave that troop there, just to be safe. Where else do we have a problem? Suhud Urba still had issues, right? That's the capital world, so we definitely need to address that. Why don't I go ahead and send... I was going to say I was going to send all of them, but now I'm doubting myself again. Let's look at... No, that's the one I just looked at. Onderine, Huquel... Yeah, Huquel and Suhud. So, tell you what, let's split this fleet. Send the larger one to Suhud. Oh, so frustrating. The misclicking is real in this. I don't know what it is about the stations that are around this world, but it doesn't let me click the damn planet. Land armies. I think it's this thing. I think it's the disc from the station that we conquered. We didn't conquer the station, we inherited it when we took the Empire. But God, it's annoying. All right. When I was renaming the planet before the episode, that's just something that I dealt with. Yeah, Huquel Urba is the other one that needs it. So let's go ahead and send you here. No problems clicking the planet there. And let's speed things up and see how things go. Oh, where are you going? I can't remember where the colony ship's going. Oh, sweet. The colony ship is already heading towards Lemsa. Good to know. Forgot that I gave that order. But now I remember. All right, let's take another look. We just need to make sure unrest, before I look away, this needs to be taken care of. This needs to be done and done. Like, no problems whatsoever. All right, there's still transport fleets heading for Huqua. Onderine Urba is good. Pabdine Urba is good. Or Pabdun. Suhud Urba is also good. Oh, that's fantastic. All right, so after that landing, they were good. So hopefully the landing we just sent to Huquel is going to be fine. And then we just have that last world... Let's have a quick look. Is there any more? Looks like unrest has been dealt with. I'm not seeing anything above 0. That's perfect. All right. So that's not a problem anymore. What next? God, I have so much to do. I think... Okay, cool. We got some good experience from the massive skeletal remains there. Let's go ahead and improve some of this stuff over here. I actually should have given these orders at the beginning of the episode, but again, top priority was locking down that territory and making sure that our new subjects are in line. Of course, we're going to have to use Roman soldiers on those worlds for a while because we outlawed military service because, you know, they're... basically because they're not an attractive race and they wouldn't make good-looking soldiers. That's more or less what we did. That's just my explanation, and I'm sticking to it. But we're going to have to, until Romans can populate those worlds, and they can actually, so I might as well set that policy. We're going to have to keep human soldiers there until we can train defensive armies there and get those offensive armies off of those planets. Probably the most micro mechanic yet we've dealt with in this series. Also, I just remembered you, observation station, damn it, and you too. Someone pointed this out in a comment, and I was actually ashamed of myself because I am normally on top of, whether it's YouTube or not, I do not get distracted from that. But something about the way this early game was going completely made me space on building an observation station. And it's ironic because now it's easier than ever to be reminded that, hey, you know, you have, oh, we met more curators, cool. You have a primitive life form here you should be observing. Especially because someone said in a comment, and I really agree with this, that Romans did like to Romanize barbarians. And why not try and do the same here? So we need to have an observation station in place to indoctrinate them and get them under our umbrella, so to speak. So we've met the Curator Sigma Enclave. We've already are in contact with the Curator Enclave, but that reminds me, let's just make absolutely sure. Hello, where are we? Contacts, that's what I wanted. Let's make absolutely sure that our research bonus is still applying. Nope, it's not. Again, there needs to be a better notification for that. I don't know if I've ranted about that in this series or not, but it just goes away and you don't know it. Yeah, we like to purchase it. So that's most of our energy credits, but our income is still pretty nice. We've detected the presence of a pre-space age civilization on Zoich in the Pluturi system. Atmospheric contaminants and light pollution visible. So it's a machine age society in Zoich. It's way up here. And that will be in our territory pretty soon. An abandoned ship has been left to drift aimlessly. Well, research it then. Thank you. Hithrum. Savannah world. You know what? Let's go ahead and colonize that. It's one of our few colonizable worlds. And it also has high habitability and reduced growth time because of the atmospheric aphrodisiac. The aphrodisiac reduces growth time. Ah, I see what you did there, game. Very nice. We're actually losing influence now. We talked about that in the last episode. We're having a bit of an influence issue, so I need to check on my factions. Hithrum. This is a Savannah world, so Hithrum. Herba. And let's have a look at our factions now. Oh, yeah. Unhappy people. Academy of Research Efficiency. We are doing poorly in terms of being... They have, and also synth envy. So we don't have any equivalents to any robots on our planets. So basically they just want robots. So I can deal with their unhappiness. Galactic Emancipation League. All right, these guys, I'm suppressing them, right? Yeah, I am suppressing them. That's part of the influence problem too, is I'm suppressing factions. Yeah, these guys want... So this is more about sacred traditions. And these are populations... The leader is actually a human scientist, traitor, but she's... This is annoying. She's actually... A lot of the populations on our new worlds are trying to join that faction. And then, yeah, these guys are unhappy because of the dull edge. What about keeping at least 3,000 stored at all times will please the business analyst initiative? Good to know. So I need to stay above 3,000 to get some happiness from these guys and maybe reduce. That's why that went to the negative just now when I spent all that money buying that boost from the curators. And then controlling at least 5 strategic resources will please the business analyst initiative. So that'll happen organically too. So these guys will help me out soon enough. As soon as I get back on track with the tech game, we might be better there too. 1 throne group, nice. Whetstone Initiative. Yeah, these guys just want border expansion. And they're already pretty pleased. So we're sending a colony ship that direction. Oh, we got more worlds here. Raprix and Escant. It's going to take a lot of influence to colonize those. I don't know if... Well, actually, yeah, we do have enough. Oh. Oh! Wait a minute. No, it was saying 40%, wasn't it? Am I crazy? Oh, no, it wasn't. It was saying 75%. What about Escant? Okay, I just misread that because that's obviously colonizable by the new race. Which reminds me, another thing I want to talk about really quickly because I talked about the detail mode, and this is new in Stellaris, and it's new in the Banks update. It's new in Utopia. Well, it's part of the Banks update. You don't have to have Utopia, but you can turn off the details map mode and take a lot of information off the map. And I had one commenter say to me, and I'm not trying to like smack down one commenter. I don't do that. So not picking on you at all. This is something that I thought could confuse a lot of people. They were like, you can't see any habitable worlds because you have details map mode turned off. No, it's turned off. Habitable worlds. That's why. So again, the details map mode when it's turned off will still show you everything you haven't exploited yet. And that's the way it's designed, whether it's a planet or a resource. Okay? So just want to make sure people were clear on that because I could definitely see more people being thrown by that new mechanic, especially if you haven't played Utopia yet because you don't have it or whatever the reason might be. Let's take a look at our new world real quick. Ooh, we got an engineering boost from the abandoned solar sail ship, so this might help us finish our engineering project. Yep, 5 months shaved off that. Okay, what do we got? Definitely need a farm here. Definitely need a basic mine there. Let's have a look at our other worlds. How are we doing research-wise? We're finally caught up physics-wise. Let's keep improving it, though. Let's do another physics lab. And then Baltris Continentum here. Nice. And now did I miss any tiles? As far as things that haven't had anything built on them yet. Yeah, let's go and do a mine there. Or something else. Hang on. Actually, you know what? That's a mineral processing plant. I actually need to replace that with a silo. Because the silo is going to give an adjacency effect to all of those mines, and then I can put the mineral processing plant on... Like, actually, yeah, let's cancel that. Here's how we're going to do this. We're going to replace this with a silo. And then we're going to build... Hey, now. Okay, I guess they have to deconstruct it first before I can rebuild it. So we'll come back there and deal with that. What do we have? Non-aggression pact invitation from the Quatilium state. Sure, you're a ways away. And then the Polysimus... Ooh, that was directed at me? I didn't think that was directed at me. This is... Ooh, that's not good. Hang on. If they're declaring me a rival... And they're border states now, so now we have a new potential hegemonic... Are you hegemonic, though? Like... yeah, you're a theocratic monarchy, you're a fanatic spiritualist, and you're a well, you're a xenophile. Why do you hate me so much? We're materialist fools. We're a threat. Our borders are closed. All right, fine. Let's declare rivalry. Let's get the influence. Screw it. All right, well, now we have two large threats right there that could potentially be problems. How are they technologically compared to us? Let's have a quick look at this. They're equivalent. Their fleet power is inferior. Their naval capacity is inferior. Their technology level is equivalent. You guys, how are you compared to us nowadays? Technology is still superior. Fleet power is equivalent. Naval capacity is inferior. We can build a significant number more ships now because we have more pops. Also, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this because I want to. Now that the Romans have so many worlds that they have access to, we're going to let them migrate. No migration controls. So now they can move around freely to explore other worlds and be on other planets. And we can see which ones are planning on migrating. So it's not like they do it with no warning. Interesting. I think I might actually take this. This is a defensive pact invitation from the Tendrakians. Now, right now, it's probably to my benefit, because if the fools north of them, again, air quotes, north, if the fools north of them attack, the Tendrakians would be on our side. Ooh, yeah, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. Because, again, that kind of helps eliminate one threat, and, well, it kind of eliminates both threats at once in a way, which is nice. Oh, we need to build those. Go there. And then let's take a look at what else we need to do. I'll try to keep the game moving, but there's just so much happening that, like, I want to make sure we get everything covered. Oh, Desert World in Alpha Centauri. Is it high enough for us to colonize, though? No, not quite. So we get access to arid worlds and savanna worlds, but not quite desert, weirdly enough. Maybe it's because the arid worlds and savanna worlds that we've been looking at, that's part of it. I think a lot of that situation, I mean, habitability is going to go up, so eventually we will have access to those, absolutely. But these worlds have buffs. That's what's causing that. All right, back to the galactic map, and let's see what else we need to work on. I guess now would be a good time before we end the episode. We've been looking at factions, and we know what they want. We need to get up to 3,000 energy for one in order to get some influence coming back our way. Also, you know, yeah, let's double check our new planets again. I just want to make sure unrest is staying down. It is. Good. And we have a human colony that's being founded here in Lemsa. Is it established yet? Yep, Lemsa Oceanum. Still being colonized, but it's there. And that's going to be an awesome producer. So let's actually have a look at our policies. And then, yeah, I think what I want to do is spend some time at the end of this episode doing some ship designing. So what am I looking for? Sector management. That's what it was. Right, so far these sectors are not giving me very much. They're producing a lot, so they've done pretty well for themselves. Magna Graecia, I'm going to go ahead and up their I'm going to up their requirements. I'm going to put them back up to full, in fact, because that gives us significantly more minerals per turn. And if we did the same here, yeah, that really helps. I'm not quite going to... Well, yeah, actually. They're good. They're in the green. Cisalpina as well is in really good shape. I get up their taxes crazily and get a lot more energy from them. And they're still fine. Which is nuts to me. But they're doing okay. And I'm actually going to give them some more minerals right now, just to make sure these guys are covered and they can build what they want to build. All right, so that's been taken care of. Yeah, we're now making a lot more energy. It's going to be easy to get back to 3,000. All right, so let's let the game run for a bit. So as soon as we hit 3,000, our influence should stop tanking. It might not be going up, it'll stop going down. Our first finds on Borbogon 6 point towards something more interesting discoveries to be made on the surface. Those words. Another faction? A new faction has recently been gaining traction in the internal political landscape, led by General Russell Brockbank. They call themselves the Alien Aid Trust. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Friendly relations with alien species. Indirect xenology. Passive steady stance on native interference will please the Alien Aid Trust. No alien slaves. No purge policy. Why? Where are these ethics coming from? I'm guessing they're coming from the new worlds. Where are you? No, this is coming from our core planets. It's really interesting. I am surprised that there's this much faction nonsense and this much unhappiness. We have, hang on, let's remind ourselves what our governing ethics, our civics are. So I guess, yeah, the civics are going to reduce unrest, but they're not going to make people less rebellious. It's not going to improve the governing ethics attractions. Let's look at policies. Is there anything we can do there? We're already doing the information quarantine to improve the attraction of our governing ethics. Man, we've got some troublesome factions to deal with. If I suppress them, it takes additional influence. Because I really don't want them to grow. I don't want them to become more powerful. So tell you what, let's stop suppressing them for now. I'm looking to see if there's a faction that I can maybe promote. So the pacifist ethics attraction would double if I promoted this faction. This faction's happiness is at 0. So I thought I ensured that there are... Oh no, okay, you're just not happy that not all pops have access to that. Doesn't matter that humans have access to it. Wow. Alright, anyway. Ship design. That new faction really threw me off. Let's spend a few minutes doing this. So... we currently have the Aurelius class Corvette. Let's start with Corvette, which is the Interceptor. There's only one hull type, I think, for the Corvette, which is the Interceptor. So, I mean, until we get access to the torpedo, maybe there's no point in making a new Corvette type. Until we get access to torpedoes. But torpedoes will necessitate a new Corvette type. And you guys can let me know in the comments if that's not the case. But let's go ahead and switch to destroyers. And right now we have a picket ship style destroyer. And just to give you an idea of the alternatives, the picket ships are designed to be point defense heavy, whereas the interceptor ships are based more on, and these are destroyers, are based more on light movement, more utilities maybe. Well, what does the interceptor bow look like? No, it's just the stern. I don't know why they call this the interceptor. There's nothing really... It has 2 small slots as opposed to medium. So that's really the only difference. So it's just a semantic difference, I suppose. And then there's the bow, which we have the gunship, the picket ship, and the artillery bow. So actually it would be a destroyer with a large weapon slot. That's kind of interesting, a destroyer with a large weapon. I don't know that I want to do that. I think I'd rather have a gunship. but it's good to know that you can do that. So let's go ahead and do a new design. It's going to be a destroyer. This is going to be the... I wrote down some ideas. Let's make this the... Yeah, let's make it the Tiberius class destroyer. And we will go, not with a picket ship, but with... let's do a gunship. All right, and maybe a gunship stern as well. Interceptor ship is nice, but I think I'd rather have a little bit. God, I can't talk. A little bit better weaponry. And then down here, we'll do some stuff as well. So, got access to plasma throwers. Can't do point defense. Or can we? No, we can't. All right, so I think I just want to have maybe a mix of weapons. Mega cannon only works on those type of slots. Plasma throwers are what now? Eject disruptive bolts of high energy plasma at targets. These plasma projectiles are extremely effective at eating through ship armor, as are mass drivers, right? Yeah, these are armor piercing. So I think I'd rather just have a bunch of Gauss cannons on this thing. Once I have more weapon types, I might go back to the gunship and change it, but for now we're just going to go with that. And then we definitely want regenerative hull tissue in that slot. And we want a mix of armor and shields. And of course we need power too, let's not forget that. If I go ahead and put level 3 shields in 2 of these slots, I doubt that a level 3 medium... Yeah, it's not going to be enough. What if... Oh man, it's close. So I need to take away one of the armors, basically. These weapons, man. That's what it comes down to. Alright, so fission reactor should be enough to do it. Perfect. Alright, so this is our Tiberius class gunship. So we're going to auto-upgrade that, definitely. Let's save it. And then we also want to have a new cruiser. Let's work on that, shall we? And by the way, don't leave. I've got something else about the series to talk about in just a second. So if I haven't, hopefully people haven't checked out for the next episode, just given that I'm doing more technical stuff at the moment. But there is something I need to say at the end of this one. We're already running overtime a little bit. So let's see. The Aurelius class cruiser is a... No, that's the Corvette. The Trajan class cruiser is artillery, broadside, and gunship. So pretty much just heavy weaponry, large, medium, and then small slots in the back, but all Gauss cannons. So kind of a similar theme. I think we can probably do something really different for a new cruiser. So let's go ahead and make... So this is going to be a cruiser. And I am going to call this the Hadrian class, not because that's my name, but because Hadrian was Trajan's adopted son. So there's that. All right. Actually, I can't remember now. Let's not save it just yet. This is the artillery, broadside, and gunship. Okay, I had forgotten. Artillery, broadside, and gunship. So cruiser, Hadrian. Let's mix it up. Broadside. Let's definitely make a... Yeah, let's do a hangar core. Why not? More point defense. And then broadside for the back. So now we want to have sentinel point defense in those 2 slots. We have a hangar, which we can't use that yet because we don't have... Oh wait, yes we do. We have Flagello. I knew that. We have Amoeba Flagella, so we have even more Amoebas going out to fight for us, which is a lot of fun. And yeah, we're just going to have Gauss cannons in these final slots. Meanwhile, we've got to fill these up. And we do need Durasteel armor. Definitely. Now, what is this? Damage reduction 43%. Interesting. And then for the shields, let's put one large shield in there and have a couple of large reactors. And then that'll put us in the positive. And then I think... yeah, I think I'm happy with the armor there. Can I do one more shield? Can I pull that off? Yes, I can. Awesome. All right, so this is going to be the Hadrian class cruiser. And then one last design, and we'll be done with this episode. So that's that. Let's go ahead and... we've got the Augustus class, which is... this has a heavy weapon, right? So a spinal mount bow, carrier core, and a broadside stern. All right, so we're going to make a very different type of ship here. Let's do a new battleship. And this is going to be a Julius class. Augustus, Caesar, and Julius Caesar. So this is not going to be a spinal mount. We're not. It's not a hangar either. We're actually, I think... I like the idea of having an array of weapons on the front of this thing. I really do. To kind of complement the fact that the other one only has one big weapon. Yeah, let's go with broadside. And then here we need... we've already got a carrier core. So we could do a hangar core, have weapons, and still launch flagella. Have even more of those guys. That would be awesome to still have flagella launching from a lot of different types of ships. I'm kind of tempted to do that, to tell you the truth. Yeah, let's do it. And then back here... yeah, let's go with more slots. Let's go with broadside stern. Let's do systems down here first, just to mix things up. Let's do 2 cold fusion reactors there. And then we need to implement some shields. Large shields, in fact. Now let's put some weapons in up here, because I'm not quite sure how this is going to affect everything. Let's do Gauss cannons. I think just cannons across the board. However, I might need to reduce the level of some of those, because good God. Like maybe the small... maybe the medium weapons should be level 4, and the large ones should be level 5. How about that? And now, let's fix our power problem. Done. Oh, flagella, hang on. You go there. Okay, we're going to need to fill that with one more power. Oh, wow, that's a lot more than needed. So, fusion reactor? Okay, not quite enough to do that across the board. Okay, now the really cool thing. You can actually see the differences in the shape of the ships. So this has got this long row of guns down the front, right? And there's the Hadrian class cruiser and the Trajan class, very different looking ships. And then there's the Tiberius class and the Justinian class destroyers. They just look so different. It's really cool. So I'm still getting my feet wet with the ship designs. And I like to do them on screen so that people who are still learning the game can learn from not only me, but also learn from the comments below, and so that you can see it and comment on it and see what my logic is. So really quick, before I end this episode, we're about 10 minutes over time for an episode, but I've done a lot of these to 30 minutes, so maybe it's not a even noticeable thing. We are on episode, what is this, 17? Yeah, episode 17. Normally on the channel, after 20 episodes of a series, I rotate content. I did this recently with Alexander. A lot of you may have noticed, but some of you may not have. And a lot of you are watching Roma Galactica right now. This has been the biggest series in the history of the channel. And again, I'm thrilled to have everybody here. Normally what I do is I rotate series, because what happens with just a 2 time slot schedule, because I can't just record like 4 or 5 different series at once, there's no time. But what happens is when you've got 2 long running series at once, you have a tendency to get stagnant, because if you've got a long series in both time slots, if they're running for 2-3 months at a time, if you think it sucks that I would normally switch out of a series after 20 episodes, it sucks more when it's just the same thing for months on end. So I started doing that months back, and I think a lot of people agreed. I know a lot of people agreed that it actually made an improvement. But On the other hand, a lot of you are new to the channel, and we're coming up on episode 20. The series is just getting interesting, and I've really been thinking about it because I want to be flexible. I don't want to be too rigid in my following my own protocols and rules for the channel. So I just wanted to say that normally it would be the case, and in other series of mine that you'll watch where you've got a more normal pattern of views where maybe it's tapering off a little bit more, there's a little bit less excitement, it's not quite as big of a hit. After 20 episodes, I will switch to something else, and then I'll come back after I've done 20 episodes of a new series or another series that I'm continuing. But in this case, I've actually decided to make an exception because this is an exceptional series. So after episode 20, it will continue episodes 21 through 40. Some of you may have been wondering about that because that's my policy. Some of you may be new and you've been wondering about it because I've talked about it in other series. But I just want to make sure you knew that's what was going on. So that's what I wanted to mention. I said this a second ago, like hang out, don't leave, because I wanted to make sure that you heard that. But we are going to go all the way through 40 with the current run, which is going to go well into May. So that'll be nice and long. And then at episode 40, unless something really interesting is happening there, of course, I'll always consider it again, but we'll probably do a switch at that point and then come back to Roma Galactica as often as we need to in order to finish it. So that's what's going on. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes in Roma Galactica come out every single day at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.